time. Reverend Dan Esau, who is our officiating pastor. Burke Jodine will be providing the music. Pam Seifert will be presenting a slideshow of Brianna's time at school. Jesse Ruckabar will be sharing thoughts and pictures on behalf of Colin's classmates. Corey and Tanya for compiling the family slideshow. And Trina and Logan Dukeshire, Redmond and Logan Dukeshire for running sound and PowerPoint. And for Joyce and Donna and Lila for organizing the lunch and all who contributed food to this afternoon's lunch. And lastly, I'd like to thank Audrey for her clear and thoughtful direction in planning this service. Your strong, calm spirit was truly an inspiration for those of us helping. I just have to share a little bit. It wasn't all heavy times. We were able to reminisce a little bit while we were planning the service, and our thoughts went back to the days we worked at the home. Shared a couple of stories that made us laugh. But Audrey and I go way back. We talked about attending youth group, and that's a long time ago. So thank you, Audrey, for that. I have a couple of announcements I'd like to make. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the River Ridge Golf Club in remembrance of Colin. There are baskets out at the side table there. And then to the Leader Long-Term Care Ladies Auxiliary in remembrance of Brianna. There will be a lunch immediately following the service. So after the service has concluded, we will ask a few of you to help move chairs to the side, and we'll set up, I guess, 4 rows of tables if we can. So I think that is all the announcements.
My dad taught me that whenever you get a gift, you're supposed to say thank you. So we begin with a word of prayer that really is simply a thank you. So ask it about. Creator of all, you created this day that we could be together. You created family and friends that support and love and care. And this day as we gather, we remember and we stop and we say thank you together. Thank you for Colin and Brianna, for the life they lived, for the joy, for the energy, the gifts they have given. Thank you for Audrey and her family, for Corey, each one who has gathered here this day to support her. Thank you for friends and family who have traveled far and near to be with us this day. And through this day, through this moment in the days to come, I pray that you would give us the gift of peace that passes all understanding. We pray this in the name of the one who loved us and gave himself for us. Amen.
Seen my share of broken halos and folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go. Broken halos that used to shine. Angels come down from the heavens just to help us on our way. They come to teach us, and then they'll leave us and find some other soul to save. I see my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go. Broken halos that used to shine. Don't go looking for the reasons. Don't go asking Jesus why. We're not meant to know the answers. They belong to the by and by. They belong to the by and by. I see my share broken halos, folded wings that used to fly, broken halos that used to shine.
Hello, everyone. We wanted to contribute to the memorial in a small way today, so we've put together a video of pictures of Brianna from her years at school. There are still a few, and when I say a few, I mean actually 3 teachers left at the school who also taught Colin. James and I remember that Colin was such a friendly kid in high school, and he was funny, and he was smart, and he was definitely quirky. He had his own opinions on the world, and he usually had a really funny explanation and made everyone laugh. So it was no surprise that his daughter would be so much like him. Brianna was also friendly, and she was funny, and she was smart, and she was definitely quirky as well, but with a bit of an edge. I didn't get to teach Brianna until she was in grade 6, so that's when I really got to know her. She was one of the only kids I had in 8 years to score 100% on the beginning of the year spelling assessment. She loved to read. She spent lots of time just sitting in the hallway during recesses on the floor with a book in front of her. Her writing was at a much higher level than a typical grade 6 student. She was thoughtful in her writing and deep. She always had some kind of different viewpoint or path in her writing, and it was so enjoyable to read. In grade 7, she was in our school drama production called Disorder in the Court. She had a small part, but it was perfect for her. She was Alicia Contrary, and she argued with another character the whole time she was on stage. She was a great little actor, and once we finished that play, she was hooked. She couldn't wait for the next year. Last year, we did Archie and the Wallflower, and Brianna was our Archie. I said, "I need you to be a talking plant." She didn't even flinch. She was excited. Later, as we got our costumes ready, I said, "I need you to wear a green skin suit and paint your face green and wear this sunflower headband." And again, no problem. Later, when we were gathering items for our set and we had to figure out how to make her look like she was a flower, I said, "I need you to sit in a garbage can for the next 6 weeks while we practice on stage." She did. We decided to try competing at the drama festival last year in Swift Current, and she was so excited to be part of the group. And then in that play, I gave her 2 parts, and one of them was a spoiled brat who got whacked with a ping pong paddle, and she happily agreed to it. She was one of my most dedicated actors and never missed a practice, and there was a lot of practices. Playing Archie, the talking plant, was perfectly suited to her as the plant observed the world and made comments about human relationships. And in our drama festival play, she was first on stage at the beginning and last on stage at the end. And I have to shake my head because when I think about it now, I put the kid in a garbage can for a month and a half, and then she got whacked with a ping pong paddle for another month after that. And somehow she was so looking forward to what we were going to do this year. So clearly she loved the stage. Lastly, I just want everyone to know what a talented artist she was. You'll see when you take a look at some of the things on the table in the entrance. I always asked her if I could keep her projects so that I could use them the next year as examples of excellence. She loved to draw. She was very skilled, very creative. So here are some pictures of her from her years growing up at our school to the soundtrack of some of her favorite songs as chosen by her closest friends.
How cruel is the golden rule when the lives we lived are only golden plated. I knew the lights of the city were too heavy for me. Though I carry carrots for everyone to see, and I saw God cry in the reflection of my enemies, and all the lovers with no time for me, and all of the mothers raised their babies to stay away from me. Tongues on the sockets of electric dreams, where the sewage of youth drowned the spark of my dreams. And I knew that the lights of the city were too heavy for me. Though I carry carrots for everyone to see, and I saw God cry in the reflection of my enemies, and all the lovers with no time for me, and all of the mothers raised their babies to stay away from me, and pray they don't go up. I'm coming apart at the seams, pitching myself leading other people's dreams. Now buzz, 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 dark, there's a hole where something was. Dark, there's a hole where something was.
It is my privilege at this time to read you a tribute to Colin and to Brianna. Thank you, Audrey, for compiling these words. They are beautiful. Colin Mark Rowlandson. Colin had a zest for life and gave it his all. He loved deeply those who were a friend to him he held very high. The months prior to his passing unfolded in ways that gave him opportunities to touch base with friends he hadn't seen for some time. Ever since his teen years, there is one family in town that touched him to his soul. A family very special to him, a second family in every respect. He absolutely loved and adored the Joe and Frances Schmaltz family. Always looked so forward to his friend Kent when he visited home. Upon graduating, his intentions were to be a school teacher, but instead he chose to get his ticket in welding, which he attained in Medicine Hat, and he excelled at it. He found employment there and settled in with Christina, his special someone. A year or so later, they relocated to Leader, where he worked at Macata welding hopper bottoms for granaries. There, he developed a deep friendship with Shane Loudon, also an employee there. He took much pride in the work they did together. When Brianna turned 2, her parents' relationship succumbed to deterioration and came to an end. Putting Brianna ahead of herself, her mom selflessly gave Colin full custody. A few years later, when Macata closed, he relocated to Lloydminster, where he found employment with Truck Zone, again a job where he used his welding skills. Sadly, the price of oil affected his job, and him and Brianna moved back to Leader. A new door opened to him through employment with Somerville's. He was working toward getting his ticket in heavy-duty mechanics and had completed his 3rd year this past May after a very frustrating 2-year delay caused by COVID lockdowns. He had plans for his life and decided it was time to spread his wings. He had planned on seeking employment in Alberta, continuing with his mechanics career. He took great pride in his work and was a joy to have in the shop. He had quite the sense of humor, and his energy could fill a room. Sam Somerville was much more than a boss to Colin. He had much respect for Sam and spoke very highly of him. He also developed a friendship with Sam's brothers. Last year, he was pumped for the staff Christmas party at work. They drew names for gift buying, and with no disrespect to any of his co-workers, there was just one name he hoped to have in his hands. He was beyond happy when he opened the slip of paper and saw the letters S-A-M. Sharing that news couldn't wait until after work. When he got home, he phoned Mom as soon as possible to share the news. His big smile could be seen through the excitement in his voice. Some people struggle with gift ideas, but Colin always knew what to buy. It only took him a short time to choose the perfect gift for Sam and waited for the party and for him to open it. Cypress Hills Park was a great place he loved to visit, if just for a day at a time. Being out on the golf course was something he greatly enjoyed. He had his heart set on making a trip to Banff this summer to golf on the course there. However, a knee injury unfortunately prevented that from unfolding. He was driven to do things for Mum around the house and yard, and when mobile enough with crutches, nothing could stop him from planned projects. He wasn't intimidated by much. He'd always see if something could be fixed before sending it to the dump. The ceiling fan in the kitchen is running like new again, and the lawnmower he put together using parts from 2 different ones works like a charm. In July, he packed his journey as tight as a can of sardines. No space was wasted. Brianna and him headed to Swift Current to pick up her friend Sarah and headed off for a weekend camping trip. There was a fire ban at the time in the park. However, he was allowed a small fire because that's how he cooked, over hot embers. Saturday night, they decided to go on a hike. Each of the girls held an LED flashlight, and off the 3 went. That hike turned out to be the highlight of the camping trip. He never rushed preparing anything he made for a meal. Nothing was just thrown together. His pizzas could have been served in a restaurant. He had his favorite cooking shows, but no one topped Chef Alton Brown. Alton was right up Colin's alley. He always explained the scientific side of baking and cooking, a side not really thought of, but to him very interesting. Who makes flour from ground oatmeal and grates frozen butter for muffins? Alton and Colin, that's who. They were top notch for sure. Absolute number one in his life was his daughter. He accompanied Christine to her first ultrasound appointment. He had his heart set on the baby being a girl. He wanted a daughter. He was so happy she was on her way. She came before everything else to Colin. They shared a bond that was so deep and so strong. She truly was Daddy's little girl. Her given name was Brianna, but to Colin, she was only Sweetheart. They shared a common room at home, so she was always a part of his video gaming, music, and company. He was always part of her time spent at her computer desk. He had recently gotten into the new Tony Hawk's skateboarding video game and had started Brianna playing it, practicing all the tricks done with a skateboard. He was never a sports fan of any team, never really followed sports, but there was something about the Winnipeg Jets logo that he liked. He was a collector of that team's merchandise, right down to the cupcake papers he found in Princess Auto. He smiled when he saw them on the shelf and tossed them into the cart. Colin's attention to detail included everything he did. Substandard? Not a chance. One day he felt the pull chain to the new workbench light in the garage was a bit sticky. He put a shot of his favorite lubricating spray into the base of it and ended up with the chain in his hand. Not a problem. He just wired a toggle switch, attached it to the frame, and away he went. Red Green always said at the end of his show, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Colin was both. Brianna Eris Rowlandson. Brianna was a beautiful girl, inside and out, very easygoing, warm, affectionate, sometimes shy. She asked for very little. She attended kindergarten here in town, and the following summer relocated to Lloydminster to live with her dad, who had found employment there. She attended grade 1 in Lloyd. The school would phone him at times while he was at work. Brianna and the principal were on a first-name basis. Apparently, she felt it was up to her to settle disputes on the playground at recess. Eventually, she learned that she was to go to a teacher if there was a problem. Unfortunately, the price of oil dropped, which affected Colin's employment, and they relocated to Leader. At the tender age of 4, she began drawing people, an interest that throughout the years developed and became more detailed. She spent hours curled up on her computer chair, knees up, supporting the drawing tablet that duplicated the image on her computer monitor. It was a gift from her dad and allowed her to zoom in and out on any part of the image she was working on. Eventually, she began playing with colors, shading, adding more dimension to her works of art. She mostly drew from photos and was very critical of her work, but never stopped redoing until she was satisfied. She had perfected doing the eyes and had been working on fine-tuning the mouth, which she always found to be a bit of a challenge. In her baby book, her mom wrote, "I can't help hoping that you inherited Mom's blue eyes and love of books, Dad's love of computers and video games." Well, she scored on all counts. Her dad was amazed at the speed she typed on her keypad. The two of them were experts on the video game Zelda. Her last birthday gift from her dad was a book, Zelda, the Complete Official Guide, Collector's Edition. He had started her skateboarding on the new Tony Hawk video game he had put on his computer. She loved to read and was mostly interested in supernatural type books. She had a very good start on quite a library through birthday and Christmas gifts. Special times were shared between her and Grandma Audrey, baking cookies, going for bike rides, and going for walks, watching movies. The after dark, late night bike rides especially were fun at times in pajamas. She pointed out every tree in town that she climbed. One of the residents at the seniors' home shared the time she watched through the windows Brianna climbed the big birch tree out front. Each spring brought visits to the Busy Bee greenhouse. The first time just admiring the flowers and gift shopped. After that, choosing and buying flowers. Road trips to anywhere in Grandma's car was her stage. And I understand this now, Audrey. Grandma's old people's music, as Brianna called it, was tossed out. And out came her stack of chosen CDs. Conversations about her favorite band, Fall Out Boy, favorite songs, not liked songs, and details about the band's members. She enjoyed that she could share that interest with her grandma. An all-time favorite road trip for both was to Cowtown Toy Store in Maple Creek. At times it would be quite busy and she preferred it with only a few people there. She felt uncomfortable in large crowds. She would head for the stairs at the back and go straight up to the stuffy room. There was always a new addition to her collection accompanying her home. Her last stuffy was a brown bear. He went with her on sleepovers, with friends of course, and of course went along on that camping trip, and always with visits with her mom's family. He was very special to her. She loved thrift stores. Her favorite was the clothing section, but she had also started quite a unique cup collection. She rarely left empty-handed. Brianna had 3 very close friends who were very special to her. They were all in drama at school, so spent a lot of time with play practices. Millie opened her home to Brianna, and with that, an introduction to the bass guitar, which Brianna said belonged to her musician dad, Burke. She enjoyed time spent learning to play that guitar, and she beamed as she talked about the song she was getting good at playing, too. Such a gift to Brianna from Millie and her family. She shared a story of one particular sleepover at Millie's. They were baking chocolate chip cookies. Not being attentive to their task at hand, they left the kitchen, supposedly just for a few minutes. It turns out the smoke detector alerted the entire house that the cookies in the oven were done. She said they were told they couldn't bake anymore without supervision. When the phone rang and it was an invite on a family outing with her mom's side, she never declined. Always looked forward to reflecting that she had fun with them. Her little brother Mannix, whom she loved and adored, didn't allow her to have her own space when she spent time with him and mom. But as he got older, he understood he couldn't be her shadow all the time. They introduced her to the ski hill a number of winters ago. She said she wasn't very good at it, but enjoyed it. They visited great-grandma Zelma and great-grandpa Glenn when the opportunity arose. Brianna said there was always good food and baking to eat and tea to drink. Brianna had a tea stash in the cupboard. She liked trying new flavors of herb teas, and most evenings would make herself a cup and go out to her computer, where she'd chat with friends and listen to music and draw. Evenings were her favorite time of day. When visiting great-grandma Margaret here in town, she'd enjoy looking through the collection of school yearbooks, the ones from Uncle Corey and her dad's school years. It was great entertainment. I always brought the book to her 2 grandmas to share what was so funny that she cracked up laughing. Colin and Brianna had left an imprint on those they touched. They will continue on through the bonds that were created by their presence. It was their time, or not just words. Their souls were called home, their time here fulfilled. A number of different circumstances would have changed the events that unfolded that evening. The phone call missed from Brianna's auntie to tell Colin she'd drive her back, saving him the trip from Swift, where he'd spent the weekend with friends. The light that could have been red making him pause a few minutes as he was leaving Swift to pick her up from the hat. Had he turned the key in the ignition a bit sooner or later, none of the trip switches were engaged. It was their time, and we will never forget our time with them. Jesse.
I am here to honor Colin's memory on behalf of the LCS class of 2003. Sorry. Life has many seasons, many chapters. Though many of us had not been in regular contact with Colin throughout the years, we all look back so fondly on the time that Colin was a part of our season of life and all the chapters that he was in. Sorry. Colin had the best laugh and a sense of humor that was unmatched. He was quick-witted and always had a warm greeting, a master of sarcasm and math. Collectively, many of us from the class of 2003 shared our memories and stories of Colin in a group chat following his passing, and I'd like to share those with you today. It was said, "I will remember Colin by his smile and laugh, distinctive handwriting, and being the skip of his curling team. I have fond memories of Colin and his laugh, wit, and always friendly spirit. I will always remember how amazing he was at all the math and science. I truly can chalk up passing math to him helping me out during spares. I remember curling with him and loved his competitive nature. He had the most amazing sense of humor and such expression in his stories. He had a voice that could be on the radio. Colin was always in a good mood and had a laugh that you could recognize anywhere. I remember Colin as such a storyteller and confident in who he was at a young age. The too many grandmas stories that he would write, he could always make people laugh. I have fond memories of his hilarious comments and his great sense of humor. I'll remember Colin mostly for his laugh. Our friend group always called him Rolly. He was such a fun guy to be around. I think of Colin whenever I hear the song Too Little, Too Late by the Bare Naked Ladies. There was a time when we were in home ec class and it started playing. For no reason other than he was Colin, he started dancing. We eventually all joined in and we were laughing and having fun until the teacher told us to stop. It's a silly thing to remember, but it makes me smile. For grad, we exchanged gifts. I found him a vintage Metallica cassette at Value Village, which he loved. He gifted me the Jackass VHS, which I also loved way back in 2003. Colin could do the best imitation of a certain teacher with a ponytail and ugly shoes that liked poetry. When Colin got excited about something, he would clutch his head dramatically and exclaim, "I'm freaking out!" I can still hear that voice he would say it in. Those of us that were fortunate enough to run into Colin in the years since our school days assured the group that he was exactly as we all remembered. He was funny, charismatic, kind, and still that very same laugh and expression we were all fond of. The same Colin as years ago. In one particular encounter a few years after graduation, an old classmate had shared that they had been back in Leader working at the hospital. They had gone out for a run one evening and a strange vehicle seemed to be following them. After about 10 minutes or so, this vehicle finally pulled around in front of them Out popped Colin laughing about being a stalker and just wanting to add some excitement to being a leader for the night. Colin was always good for a laugh. We were all truly blessed to have known Colin and to have spent the years with him that we did. He left us with a legacy of laughter and kindness that will stay with us always.
Well, I got to know Brianna through my daughter Millie. She spent a lot of time at the house. And for such a little girl, she made a lot of noise. She really did. She was so small, and then she'd fill up any space around her with noise. And then we put a guitar in her hand. And that red guitar out front there. I didn't know it till today, but Brianna was mad at me a couple months ago. That's my bass guitar. Brianna was learning how to play it, and she even went so far as to name it. And that guitar is forever forth now. It's called Twinkle Toes. And, she loved that guitar. I'm not sure how many people knew she was a musician or a songwriter, but she was working on that. And music. She loved Fall Out Boy. Oh my God, like she was obsessed. It wasn't just, she didn't just know the band members. I'm pretty sure she knew like their great grandparents. Like she knew everything about these bands. And like obsessed. So I got to apologize to Brianna right away, because the first song I sung, she had been mad at me because she didn't consider country music to be actual music. So I have to apologize for that. Audrey asked me to play some songs here, and I was trying to think of some fitting songs. Between Millie and I, we picked some Fall Out Boy songs, so I'm gonna try to play some Fall Out Boy songs for my little friend Bree. And I got these jetpack blues just like Judy, the kind of make June feel like September. I'm the last one that you'll ever remember. And I've got this peace of mind behind these two white highway lines. When the city goes silent, the ringing in my ears gets violent. She's in a long black coat tonight, waiting for me in a downpour outside. She's singing, baby, come home, in a melody of tears, and the rhythm of the rain keeps time. And I remember, baby, come home, and I remember, baby, come home, and I remember, baby, come home, and I remember, baby, come home. And I got these jetpack blues, fight off the light tonight and just stay with me. Don't you ever leave. She's in a long black coat tonight, waiting for me in a downpour outside. She's singing, baby, come home, in a melody of tears, while the rhythm of the rain keeps time. Baby, come home, and I remember, baby, come home, and I remember, baby, come home, and I remember, baby, come home. And I got these jetpack blues, turn off the light tonight and just stay with me. Don't you ever leave. I'm gonna play her one more. One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, even if they weren't so great. He tastes like you, only sweeter. One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. See, he tastes like you, only sweeter. I'm gonna make you bend and break. Say a prayer, but let the good times roll, in case God doesn't show. I want the words to make things right, but it's the wrong to make the words come to life. Who's to think he is? One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. See, he tastes like you, only sweeter. And one night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. See, he tastes like you, only sweeter. I'm looking forward to the future, but my eyesight is going bad in this crystal ball. It's always cloudy except for when you look into the past. One night stand on. One night, one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the Thanks, Bree.
Just being for anything. Never shame but never free. A life that healed the broken heart with all that it could. Lived a life so endlessly, saw beyond what others see. I tried to heal your broken heart with all that I could. Will you stay? Will you stay away forever? How do I live without the ones I love? Time still turns the pages of the book gets burned. Place in time, always on my mind. I have so much to say, but you're so far away. Plans of what our futures hold, foolish lies of growing old. It seems we're so invincible, the truth is so cold. A final song, a last request, a perfect chapter laid to rest. Now and then I try to find a place in my mind where you can stay. You can stay away forever. How do I live without the ones I love? Time still turns the pages of the book gets burned. Facing time, always on
with Audrey's blessing, a few words. Sometimes it seems that words are never enough, but often needed. I have a friend, Pierre, who's been down this road far too many times, and he says that the only two steps through grief are talk and tears. And thank you for talking and telling stories and for the tears that have been shed. So, just a few words. We're here for a very simple reason this afternoon. It's because of love. It's that simple. But there's nothing really simple about love. If you asked, what is love, you'd get a lot of answers, and I'll leave it to the singer-songwriters to say it best, and I'm not about to start singing. But of all the answers that I found, the one that satisfies me the most is love is giving so that another might grow. Love is giving so that another might grow. Parents give to their children so that they might grow. My wife says that our children are back in the part of her brain that makes her heart beat. Farmers give to the land, to livestock, and it grows. Teachers give to their students that they too might grow. Business owners to their businesses, and on it goes. We give to our communities so that our communities might grow and flourish. Selfless giving produces growth. It's that simple. And so love gives and life grows. So Audrey loved Colin, and he grew. Colin loved Brianna, and she grew. And down from generation to generation, friend to friend, teacher to student, parent to child, love to love, life to life. And life grows. And yet here we are at Christmas. And it reminds me that every nativity scene, every carol, and every Christmas present proclaims a simple message that I live by. For God so loved the world that he gave. God gives so that we might grow. Love to love, life to life. I can't imagine giving a son. I can't imagine losing a child. Maybe that's why crosses on the road are there by car accidents, because cars and crosses seem to go hand in hand. Love gives, life grows. And so this afternoon, very simply, I want to say thank you for all of you who have given. In ways you can't imagine, in ways you can't know, in moments best seen in pictures and best heard in songs. Thank you to teachers and staff members of LCS who have given for generation after generation, who are here today and will continue to give to the students that they love. To all of you as a community who are here today, gathered to remember, gathered to give, who have given to Audrey the strength and the encouragement and the words and yes, the silences, so that Audrey might continue to grow, but this day, grow in peace. And I want to thank Audrey this afternoon for giving so that her son and her granddaughter might grow that rare gift of life. So I leave you simply with this. This Christmas, this moment, and I pray every day after this moment, we will remember this. Love gives so that life may grow.
A few weeks ago, Audrey came by the house for a visit, and we had a good visit. And I'm going to play a song for you, Audrey, because the words she left with my daughter is Colin and Gran aren't gone. We might not be able to touch them. They're not gone. She said, if you miss Brianna, just talk to her. She'll hear you. And that's what this song's about. It's called Live Forever. I'm gonna live forever cross that river, I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. You're gonna wanna hold me, just like I always told you. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Nobody here will ever find me, but I will always be around. Just like songs I leave behind me, I'm gonna live forever now. You fathers and you mothers, be good to one another. Please try to raise your children right. Don't let the darkness take them, don't make them feel forsaken. Just lead them safely toward the light. When this old world has blown asunder and the stars fall from the sky, remember someone really loves you. We'll live forever, you and I. I'm gonna live forever, I'm gonna cross that river, I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. He's gonna live forever, he's gonna cross that river, he's gonna catch tomorrow now. She's gonna live forever, she's gonna cross that river, she's gonna catch tomorrow now.
Thank you all again for coming. We're going to take a little transition in a moment and move some chairs around and set some tables up. I invite you to all stay and visit. We're not going to have a head table per se, but there'll be opportunities for you to hug and care and be a part of the day. I know that the family would love to meet with you, even just briefly, and share that moment. So I leave you with these words. Now may God's love surround you, God's Spirit guide you, God's whisper comfort you, God's peace calm you. May God's shield protect you and His grace sustain you. And wherever God may lead you, may love always be around you. God bless and thank you.